Hey guys, CatmanAwesome9 here, and I went and I picked up a couple of structure decks from Walmart, and I figured I'd show you guys a deck profile of what I believe to probably be one of the most controversial Yubel decks. I mean, it's a Yubel deck, so what is the controversy, but it's Fire King Yubels, of course, it's a new structure deck, and you can even see his Grunix right there, but I consider this deck to be pretty controversial because it doesn't really need Yubel to work. But once you throw Yubel in there, there's so many things that you're using to waste all your opponent's resources that eventually they just want to quit and they don't want to play anymore. And it's also referred to as by many tryhard Yubel because this is the most consistent Yubel deck. Destiny Yubel is the most consistent no loop deck, but this is the most consistent deck with a loop. So figured I'd go over it real quick. There's not a lot of differences between this deck, but I'll talk about some of my reasons that I'm running some of these that some people don't run in their Fire King Yubels, which I think it helps a lot to have. But when Yaksha comes out, I'll probably build pure Fire Kings, which is even nastier than this deck. So trust me, Destruction Loops get more annoying than Yubel Sacred Phoenix, and High Avatar Grunix Sacred Phoenix, and Yubel High Avatar Grunix Sacred Phoenix. There's so many different Destruction Loops, but this is one of the more annoying ones. So, 2 of our Fire King High Avatar Grunix. Whenever he's destroyed from anywhere, so even if he gets solemned, he is technically destroyed. He gets special summoned on the next standby phase, destroys all monsters, gets destroyed by battle, special summon the Fire King out of your deck that's not him. Really nasty. Drop him, and it doesn't, you think it's good enough that he comes back on a standby phase, but it's on the next standby phase, so if your opponent, say, Dark Holes him, hits you for a whole bunch of damage, he comes back and blows up all our monsters on your standby phase, and then you destroy him with something like Fire King's Fire Ring, which I don't know if it's called that anymore, like Circle of Fire Kings now, but then you can blow him up, special summon another Grunix, and then just start looping like crazy. So if you can get Grunix to destroy Grunix, you will never have to worry about a monster hitting the field until they disrupt the loop, which is why you keep Fire King's Fire Ring on you, just in case they do. So there's your 2 Grunix, your 1 Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys and Hand of Nephthys, because it does still help with the consistency, and Nephthys loop, destroy all spell and traps, pretty nasty. If you get Grunix, Nephthys going, all spell and traps, all monsters, all spell and traps, all monsters, that kind of deal. It gets really, really annoying. And your opponent will eventually just stop playing things to the field because they know they're going to lose it. I do run 2 of the Barong. When he gets destroyed by a card effect, you get to search Fire King card. I use it basically just to get Onslaught or Fire Ring, but if one of mine is destroyed by a card effect, I can special summon him. So if I Fire King's Fire Ring, Grunix into Grunix, I can special Barong and then get a free search. So not bad. 1800 beat stick. He's pretty cool. Then for our Yubel, I run the standard 2 Yubel, 1 Terra Incarnate, 1 Ultimate Nightmare. And then this deck, you can get an Ultimate Nightmare in 1 turn, which is really good. So, I mean, on your turn, if you go with Yubel on their turn, you can have Ultimate Nightmare on their if you go for Yubel on your turn, then it'll go into Terra Incarnate on their turn, then on your turn it's Ultimate Nightmare, so you don't have to worry about losing anything, because Grunix will continuously destroy him, so you can just get into 3rd for him, which will then get destroyed, but that's the cost of running Fire Kings. Dark Tinker, 2 Doom Shaman, standard Doom Shaman engine, 3 Armageddon Knight, and 2 Dark Grepher. Dumping stuff. You don't have to dump as hard with this deck, because basically your only real targets are Doom Shaman, Tinker, and Yubel, but it's still nice to have those free special summons, and it's a way to get out Excalibur. Run 2 Onslaught of the Fire Kings, activate this, special summon a Fire type Beast Warrior or Winged Beast type monster from your deck. Bam. Right there. There's your Grunix. Your opponent set a monster, into their turn. Grunix. Turn 1, you've already got it. And it's just, this card is really nasty. It does negate their other effects, but since all of the fire deck monsters in my deck would get their effects and they're destroyed anyway, and destroyed by a card effect, so. Onslaught, broken. Circle of the Fire Kings. This is truly the card of this deck. This is both when it comes to pure Fire Kings, Fire Fist Fire Kings, Fire King Hazy Flame, Fire King Yubel. This card is the most broken card, I think, to be released in a long time. I really feel that way for fire monsters especially. But I mean, for Fire Kings, just target a fire monster you destroy, your control, and 1 fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy the one you control and special summon 1 in your graveyard. You don't have one of these per turn, but it is a quick play. And this means that you can have Garunix on board, and say you have Garunix and Yubel Terra Incarnate. You attack with Yubel Terra, or not Terra Incarnate, the Ultimate Nightmare. You attack their monster with Ultimate Nightmare, attack them directly with Garunix. Chain this out of hand, destroy Garunix, special summon another Garunix out of grave, and attack with Garunix. And you've got a Garunix loop, plus you were able to hit him for 5,400 damage. Plus it's a quick play, so you can even set it, so if they're going to compulse him, you can chain it, and they lose their compulse target, which means they waste a compulse. Book of Moon's the same way. Circle of the Fire Kings is a very nasty card, and it can be searched with Barong, so definitely, probably the best card in this whole deck. I think it was really the underrated card of the deck, before people really started playing the deck on DN. I think it was, everybody was just like, oh, I'll just get Garunix Loop, and then they found out that this thing with Yaksha, especially with Yaksha, because you can destroy Yaksha, special summon a Garunix out of grave, because it does not control, it's just trade a fire for a fire, no matter what. So you can destroy Garunix with Yaksha out of hand, even. So, I mean, you could set up super amounts of loops with this deck. Fire Kings are definitely going to be something to fear during this format, especially, because they're not going to be hit probably until September. So for the next 6 months, I expect Fire Kings to rise up and get more stuff, even. I'd really like to see the deck take off, and Fire King Hazy Flames, I think, is still my favorite Fire King variant, just because it, you go for those, like, Strike Bounds or Rank 6 big plays plus Fire Kings, so it's pretty nasty. When Yaksha releases, I'm going to say that probably a lot during this video, just because without Yaksha, the deck is not nearly as good, and that's probably why we will not see it in the TCG until after September, so they have a chance to hit things out of this deck, like Circle probably to 1, Garunix to 1, and Onslaught to 1. I'd see one of those 3 are probably going to go to 1 in September. So that's your Fire King stuff. Got 2 dualities, extra deck then. 3 Swing of Memory, grab back those Doom Shamans, make some sync plays. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Reinforcements in the Army, Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, staple stuff. 2 Torrential Tributes, just nuke the field, just like if you have to make something real quick and start a loop. Torrential. Call the Haunteds, get back Yubel, or looping stuff, of course. And 3 Limit Reverse. Yubel is about the only target for that now because Sangin has been banned, so. That's basically what the deck, go over the extra deck real quick, and I did get some Steel Swarm Roaches. I have a secret rare, but it's in my hero deck. So we've got 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur, 1 Utopia, and a Steel Swarm Roach for Exceeds. For Synchros, Catastor, Gaia Knight, Force of the Earth. These are probably not going to be in here for long. I'll probably put Catastor in something else, but for now, it can be made, and it's very hard to make, and it's very situational, but he can be made pretty easily. Red Dragon, Thought Ruler, Infernity Doom, Dark End, 2 Stardust, 2 Scrap. Now, I'll probably make either... Both of these will be Blackbeard Dragos for now when I get them, but when Shining Stardust comes out, I'm probably going to replace Catastor with Shining Stardust, or Sideboard Catastor, because I put all my Destiny Hero stuff in the sideboard. So, and something nice with Shining Carrot, because he can target himself once per turn, you can chain him to Garunix's effect every single turn and have a 25 left on the board plus a 27 every turn. And when you get that going with the Nephless Garunix loop, you don't have to worry about anything, because they've got no back row, they've got no monsters, and you've got a 25 and a 27, So, pretty nasty. For the sideboard, it's Zen Mains, Book of Moon, 3D Draw, 2 Tour Guides, 2 Mally, 2 Dasher, my Stratos, my Evil Stratos, Doomlord, and Plague Spreader, because Destiny Hero Yubel, I sided out for this because I didn't want to lose this deck entirely. This engine is still very, very good and can just go all out with level 8 sync plays, but in order to make room for the Fire Kings, all 8 of those cards was just perfect to take out the Destiny Hero stuff. So that's my Destiny Hero not Destiny Hero Fire Fist. That would suck. Yubel Fire Fist deck. Fire Kings are definitely a force to be reckoned with, and they are, strangely enough, it feels like they're splashable to me. I almost feel like it's just like a Destiny Hero engine. You can just take a deck and throw 2 Garunix, 2 Onslaught, 2 Fire Kings Fire Ring, 1 Nephthys and 2 Balrog into it, and it can make the deck pretty decent. You can just, that way you can open hand, and I mean, you can go into so many different plays with that, and it gives you a good control of the board. Yeah, so something to look for, Fire Kings. Definitely go buy the structure deck if you have it. It does come with Duality, Horn of the Phantom Beast, Rekindling. I have the list right here. Of course, the Fire Kings. Common Sacred Phoenix. Goka, which is something that people are running with Hazy Flames. Flameveil Fire Dog. Hazy Flame Hippogriff, which is the only way to get it is through this. Volcanic Counter and Volcanic Rocket, which are not bad at all. And Hand Destruction, not bad. Good draw power stuff. Call of the Haunted. So, it's a pretty decent structure deck. Most people are just going to buy it, though, for those Fire Kings, because when Yaksha drops, Fire Kings are going to go up in tier. I'd say they go up a tier. I think right now they're probably, for power plays, I'd say they're probably going to be tier maybe 1.5 with Yaksha. Maybe. But I'd step them down to tier 2 without Yaksha, because they're really good and they're really fun. I played against a deck that was just 2 of these structure decks put together with heroes. I'm not a bad player, but with the right person playing them, knowing what they're doing, those destruction loops will ruin they'll ruin all your plays. So, yeah. So that's Fire King Yubel. That's my tryhard Yubel. That's probably the deck I'll be playing this format for Yubel. No hate to any other variants, but that's just the most consistent, and I can take that to like locals and maybe top 8. So we'll see what happens there. Been talking with a few people, and maybe we'll be doing some collaborations. I say this about every video, and if you want to do a collaboration, man, anybody, just contact me, message me on YouTube. I probably won't get it for a while because I go off my phone and my email is really slow on my phone, so sometimes it'll send me an email like a day late. Or my YouTube Messenger's slow, I'm not sure which. But if you want to get a hold of me, my Skype is fish099, which is stupid because fish098 was taken, but that's my Skype. Just message me on there, and yeah, Catman Awesome signing out.